Our next guests on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show are the Class B champions in boys lacrosse, Webster Thomas. And what a way to do it, going on the road to beat Victor 10-7 in the semifinals. And then that thrilling victory over top-seeded Canandaigua, 6-5 in the finals. Tuesday night, Webster Thomas, the 3-seed, a champion for the first time since 2016. Joining us, Coach Rob Ruller, also his son, goalie Ethan Ruller, and Joe Russo joins us after a big season scoring goals and getting a lot of assists. Coach Ruller, congratulations. It's been a while. How does it feel to be at the top of the podium again versus a couple of those near misses?
It feels great. It really does. Obviously, it's like a storybook ending for this journey with Ethan. So that's been a nice finish to a great career for him and for me to coach a kid. And I brought along Joe. These guys have been a part of my life since they were little boys. So it's just it was neat, a neat group and a neat opportunity. And I'm really glad we did what we did. And it shows how talented this group was, how tough they were as competitors. They were just class acts. They were a pleasure to coach. They were just easy, competitive. I hear it from the teachers. I hear it from administrators. It's just a great group of kids. This senior class is really a nice group of kids.
So we've talked to a couple of our guests about, how much fun it is to win on their home field. But you guys almost had it's the pleasure of being a villain. You got to go to Victor, which is a real tough place to play. And then your reward for that was going to Canandaigua, where you had that 5-0 lead, and then you had to hang on for dear life. How sweet was it to win on somebody else's field?
Pretty cool. We talked about it on the way down that this program has had a lot of great teams. We've been fortunate to have a lot of great players come through on a pretty regular basis. And, our last time we were in the finals was 2018. We lost a heartbreaker. Ethan was our goalie then. Lost a heartbreaker to Victor in double overtime. And that was one of the greatest games I've ever been a part of. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of it. But so we kind of said, it's a weird year. We really wanted to focus on winning the division first. And we thought, you didn't know when the season might be over with COVID. But to go down and have the sectional run that we did, I can't believe it. I was laughing on the way to work driving. I can't believe we won, man. We really had to play two pretty much perfect games to accomplish this task, and we did. And that says a lot about where these guys were mentally. And in between there, we had Friday night before we played Victor, we had the junior prom. I got 13 juniors that are a huge part of our team, 13, 14 juniors, and then I had the senior ball after the Victor game. So then I had to worry about them. Like, so now my seniors are just beat Victor. They're on cloud 9. Ethan has a goal. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a challenge this is going to be to get them to kind of calm back down and refocus and not be satisfied. And that's what was really impressive to me, was that we could do that. And they were ready to go and they were dialed in. We had practice on Sunday, and they were there. They were tired, but they were there mentally. And each day they got a little bit better. As we drove down, we thought, man, we got a chance. And I told them, guys, you can be legends in this program. I mean, literally, when you pull this off, you go down and beat Victor at Victor, and you go beat Canandaigua for the second time at their place. You're in Thomas folklore with this team. So it was cool. It was neat.
Joe Russo, we'll dive into the dad goalie dynamic in a minute. But Joe, let me ask you about just these guys, your teammates, keeping each other accountable, whether it was COVID or whether it was the ball. Is that something you guys were able to do, thinking like this could be historic?
Oh, yeah. Every single practice, we were pushing one another to go harder, and it worked. It ended up being well. I mean, from practice to weight room, we were in the weight room 3 times a week, and we're all tired. We were going 7 days a week. It was a grind this season, and it worked out. It worked out real good.
A couple notes on Ethan. USA Lacrosse All-American, Section 5 Defensive Player of the Year, MVP of the championship game. Ethan, what's it take to be a lacrosse goalie? Because the ball's coming at you hard. I mean, how did you get into it, and why do you love it?
I think from just like being a young age, I mean, like when you're real young, you just usually get tossed in there. Like everyone tries out goalie for a game or two, and I fell in love with it. I think you have so much 10 a role, like you're the quarterback, and it's a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and the ball's moving pretty fast, and they're gonna hit you sometimes. You're gonna come home on weekdays with bumps and bruises. I mean, that's just part of the glory. I don't know. I really fell in love with the position, and since I was real little, and I never really looked back. I've had tons of resources around me. I mean, being a coach's kid, we were able to shoot all the time and just able to grow off of that. And I mean, yeah, it was a perfect ending.
Rob, let me ask you this about, Ethan's mom. Did she ever say, you're going to put him where? In goal? Are you crazy?
I guess, I think that when you're the youth coach, you can't ask a kid to just jump in goal without having to first consult usually with mom and dad. So when I'm the youth coach, it's just easier just to not have any argument and just always have a goalie, and, he got to play some field a lot, but, he started to kind of like the craft. And, growing up, I played midfield and attack, and I always kind of had a passion for the position of goalie because I thought it was cool. You could really control the game. And, we have a running joke. We always say before every game, like, hey, well, if you score a goal and then you save every ball, we'll win. So it's all on you.
No pressure. Yeah.
So what was it like to win with this group of guys, though? Thomas had a great spring, won a sectional title in baseball too. But when you win with your friends, there's nothing better. Talk about that, Joe.
I've grown up with these same boys it's been 13 years. We've been playing together. So when we work this hard for this long, the feeling is crazy. It's hard to explain. I don't even have a voice right now. I was screaming so much. I'm just so proud of my team. My brothers. I just everything about that game was awesome.
Ethan, what's next for you?
I'm headed to Westminster Prep School in the fall to continue my academic and goalie career.
Joe, how about you?
I'm going to Geneseo next year. I'm playing lacrosse.
How about you, Coach Ruller? You think you're going to keep going?
Yeah, I do. There's like this, we got two daughters that play, and everyone keeps asking, are you going to switch over? And there's no thought of that. I'll support whatever girls coach is coaching them. I'll help them out any way I can. But I got a great team coming back again. And, it's time for Ethan to move on. I'm sure he's going to enjoy not having dad always looking over his shoulder. And I think there'll be parts of it that we'll miss greatly. And I think there's going to be a growth that's really good for him. So I'm okay with that. And I'll still keep competing. I enjoy competing. So.
Well, you can't. Go ahead, Steve. One more.
Yeah, Rob, we always ask coaches and sons or daughters about playing with that parent-coach dynamic. Is it different when your child is a goalie? Because, when you're out there in sports, the goalie relationship is even different than everything else. So was it different for you, or what was the relationship like for you?
I think it's hard at times that I don't praise enough, I guess. I think that would be the hardest part. I think you watch film, you break down film, and it was hard even when he was a freshman and earned the job. It was hard because, the other kid was really good too. And that was always a challenge. It's like, I really started to break down the goalie position, and the goalie position is hard because there's different variables. You could have, was it a shitty headed to save, or was it just a really bad defensive possession? And they gave up an easy shot from really close. And then how did he react to that shot? Even if he didn't save the ball, was he on it? Was he seeing it well? And those are the factors we had to kind of analyze. And then as a dad, oftentimes, I made some mistakes, sure, over the years. There's been some nights where I wasn't fair because I wasn't a dad enough, and I was a coach, even on the car ride home. And that's where you kind of try to share those mistakes with other people who have that dynamic of father-son. And with goalie, it can be really hard. But then at the same time, I think as we went in and everybody was getting scared, I wasn't scared. I just know that Ethan's a winner, and he's done it enough in so many different levels that I really wasn't too scared going. I had a feeling we were still going to win. And Canandaigua sure made it really difficult, but I was pretty confident even at the end that he's going to make a big one, because it's just, I just believe in him. So I wasn't too scared, but probably not enough praise. That would be what I would say. He might say that too.
Well, there was certainly no quit shown in the Canandaigua Braves. They were certainly a viable opponent for you, a formidable opponent for you guys. And but you guys are champions. Another year for Webster Thomas. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for being on the show. We do appreciate it. And best of luck in the offseason, wherever you're headed. All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Steve.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Webster Thomas boys lacrosse here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show, brought to you by Salvador's Pizza.